Students, yesterday we discussed about three cases. In that, first one is delta n is equals to positive. Then what about Kc and Q relations? And then second case, delta n is equals to negative. The second case, in the case 2, that means delta n is equals to negative. Delta n is equals to negative. Example, NO2 is reversible, N2O4. Okay, here 2 of NO2, it is a gaseous equilibrium reaction. So for this reaction, Kc is equals to x into V A minus 2x whole square. We already got this equation yesterday. That equals to Q also, am I right? So where V is volume, X is concentrations of product, and A concentration of product, and A means concentration of reactants, am I right? So where Kc is always fixed or not, this value is fixed, and Q is variable. Q is variable. Is it okay? And in the first case is if concentration of reactant, that is NO2, concentration of reactant, concentration means that is A, concentration of reactant A is increases, then Q is less than Kc. Q is less than Kc. Therefore, reaction is in forward direction. Reaction in which direction? It is clearly in forward direction. So let's see. So in the above equation or above expression, if A is increased, what is the relation to A and Q? Inversely proportional, you know. So A is increases, Q is decreases. Q decreases means Kc value is greater than Q or not, or Q is less than Kc. Why? Because it is fixed value, you know. Suppose Kc is 10. Okay, at equilibrium both are equal. Suppose this one is 10, this one is 10. So if you decrease the value of Q, that means Q is less than 10 or not? Less than 10. So clearly Q is less than Kc. Okay. So through diagrammatically we can explain this. Now this is the point A. That means that these are the reactants. And this one is point B. These are the products. Now this point is at equilibrium point, that is Kc. Okay. So according to this, that means the reaction starts at this point and the reaction end at this point. Okay. That means these are the reactants, this one is product. Now Q is less than Kc. This is the value of Kc. So less than Kc means the point Q is maybe here. Am I right? So that means Q less than Kc or not? Less than Kc. So now this is the equilibrium position. Now Q try to get this stability, that means in which direction it is moves? In the forward direction. So the reaction is forward. So forward reaction takes place. Am I right clearly? This is the case 1, and come to case 2 in the above expression. Case 2 here, That means if increase the concentration of products, increase the concentration of products. So now what is the product here? X concentration. Okay. Then Q is greater than Kc. The reaction is backward direction or reversible reaction. So compare this equation here. So where X is here, in this equation X is directly proportional to Q. Am I right? So what happened when X is increases, Q is also increases or not? So increasing in the Q means Q is greater than Kc. Q is greater than Kc. So through diagrammatically, this is the reactant, this one is product, that is the concentration of product is X. This is the equilibrium point, clearly Kc, am I right? So where Q is greater than Kc means the point Q is at this point, am I right? At this point. So now Q try to get the stability. That means it try to approach the point Kc, am I right? So that means this point shifted towards equilibrium position. That means in which direction it is now? The reaction is backward or reversible reaction, backward reaction. So when Q is greater than Kc, what happened? It is reversible reaction. Reversible reaction, or we call it is backward reaction also. Okay, reversible or backward. Okay, is it clear, ma? And case 3, what about case 3? So in this expression case 3 we have volume term. Okay, if volume is increases, what happened? So once see, V and Q both are directly proportional relation. That means Q greater than Kc. When Q greater than Kc, what is the reaction? So backward reaction takes place. Backward reaction takes place. Which reaction takes place? Backward reaction or reversible reaction. So in this expression, the relation between volume and Q is directly proportional or not? That means volume increases. What about Q is also increases? Why? Because V is directly proportional Q in this expression, am I right? Is it clear? So volume increases, Q also increases. That means Q is greater than Kc. So through diagrammatically, this is A, this is B, the reaction end at point B, the reaction starts at point A. So now this is equilibrium point Kc. Now Q is greater than Kc, am I right? Q is greater than Kc means the point Q is at this position. Where Q is greater than Kc, am I right? Now Q try to get the stability, that means it moves towards backward. That means towards equilibrium point. So the direction is, this is forward, this one is backward. So now this one is reversible, clearly. Reversible reaction. Okay. So if you increase the volume, what happened here? The reaction is backward. Suppose if you decrease the volume, then Q is less than Kc, it is in forward direction. Okay. Is it clear, all of you? So these are the three cases in delta n is equals to negative. We already discussed the derivation of this expression also, and before that we discussed delta n is equals to positive also. So now third concept and case 3. In case 3, delta n is equals to 0. Delta n is equals to 0. Then what happened? Example regarding this, H2 plus I2 is reversible 2HI. Am I right? This is gaseous equilibrium reaction. Okay. So for this one, what is the expression of Kc? That is molar concentration of Hi to the power 2, molar concentration of H2 and molar concentration of I2. So what about the expression Q? Same as above expression, am I right? So it is equilibrium constant at molar concentration. This is reaction quotient. What we call it is, Q is called as reaction quotient. So not at equilibrium. Q is not at equilibrium, where Kc is equilibrium constant at molar concentration, exactly at equilibrium. Okay. So where Q is variable but K is constant. Kc is constant. Is it clear? So now calculate delta n for above reaction. Delta n is equals to number of moles of product side minus number of moles of reactant side. Am I right? Now how many moles are present at product side? 2 moles. Then how many moles are present at reactant side? 1 of H2 and 1 of I2. Am I right? So 1 plus 1, 2. So finally 0. Delta n is equals to 0 in the above expression. In this case, Kp becomes to Kc also. Kp becomes to Kc. Why Kp is equals to Kc? So see the expression. We know already Kp is equals to Kc RT whole power delta n. Am I right? So for this reaction, what is the value of delta n here? 0. Now keep the value of delta n here. Then Kp is equals to Kc RT whole power 0. Am I right? So anything power 0? 1. That means Kp is equals to Kc. Since RT whole power 0 is equals to 1. Is it clear? So now let concentration of H2 and I2 is A moles. How many moles? A moles at temperature T and volume V. Okay. So now what is the given equation? H2 plus I2 is reversible 2HI. Am I right? This is a gaseous chemical equilibrium and that too homogeneous equilibrium. You should need to remember this. When all the reactants and products are in the same physical state, then we call it simply homogeneous equilibrium reaction. Okay. So at time t is equals 0 seconds, that means initial moles. So at time t equals 0, there is no product, we have only reactants only. What is the initial concentration of H2 and I2? For H2 it is taken as A moles, for I2 also it is A moles. So here 1 mole of H2 react with 1 mole of I2 and it produces 2 moles of HI. 2 moles of HI. 1 mole of H2 and 1 mole of I2 interact and combines. It gives 2 moles of HI. Am I right? So initially the concentration of product is 0. Why? Because there is no reaction at time t is equals to 0 seconds. Is it clear? Now at equilibrium, that means equilibrium time moles are equilibrium moles, we call it is equilibrium moles. So suppose now these are A moles, after some times or it approaches to equilibrium, then what happened? Some moles are decreases and they converted as product moles, So now suppose X moles are decreases from A, then the remaining moles at equilibrium A minus X. Remember this. Suppose X moles are decreases from A, then the remaining moles are A minus X at equilibrium. So the remaining equilibrium moles of H2 equals to how much? A minus X. And come to here, is it clear, ma? X moles are decreases and they converted as product, suppose, then the remaining moles at equilibrium A minus X. So now equilibrium moles of H2 A minus X, clear. So for this one is also A minus X, am I right? Now how many moles of products are formed here? So number of moles are 2, okay. So X moles are decreases means 2 into X. 2 into X. That means 1 mole of H2, 1 mole of I2 combines, it gives 2 moles of hydrogen iodide. Okay. So here it is 2X. 2X is the product. So equilibrium moles of product is 2X. Am I right? So now equilibrium concentrations of H2, I2, HI. So what is the given volume? V. So concentration C is equals number of moles per unit volume. Am I right? C is equals to N by V. So now these are the equilibrium moles. What is the given volume? V. Suppose number of moles divides with V, then we get concentration or not? Concentration. So how many moles here we have? A minus X by what is the given volume? V. Here also A minus X, V. Here it is 2X by V. Am I right? Is it clear? Here these are the moles at equilibrium. Now we would like to convert this mole into concentration. For this purpose just divide with volume, then it converts as equilibrium concentrations of H2, A minus X by V. Equilibrium concentration of I2, A minus X by V. Equilibrium concentration of HI is 2X by V. These are the concentration terms. Okay, molar concentration we call it is simply. So, and come to for this equation write Kc first of all. Kc. So what is that expression we need to get here? Hi to the power 2 and H2 to the power I2. Is it clear? Now this one is molar concentration of HI, molar concentration of H2, molar concentration of I2. We already got this value here. So what is molar concentration of HI? 2X by V. Molar concentration of I2? A minus X by V. Molar concentration of I2? A minus X by V. Keep this value in this expression, then we get, then Kc is equals to how much? Kc equals to how much? What is HI? That is 2X by V whole square by A minus X by V and A minus X by V. Am I right? Now from this one we have 4x square by V square by A minus X into A minus X a minus x square by v into v square, and cancel this term and this term. Finally we get 4x square by a minus x whole square. Okay, is it clear? Therefore Kc is equals, what is the expression? 4x square by a minus x whole square. Okay, is there any volume term in this expression? And this one is also taken as q, am I right? There is no volume term in the above expression, there is no v. Okay, so in the above expression, no volume term, there is no volume term in this expression regarding. Okay, is it clear, ma? So in the case delta n is equals to 0, for this equation H2 plus I2 is reversible 2HI. So what is the expression we got? Kc is equals to 4x square a minus x whole square q. Is it okay? In this case 1 we have to discuss. In this case 1, so what is case 1? If increase the concentration of reactants, what are the concentrations of reactants means here? Reactants are H2 and I2, and their concentration is A. Concentration is A, am I right? What is the concentration term here? A. Then Q becomes less than to Kc. Q less than Kc. Then the reaction is forward reaction. So once see this expression here, the value of A is increases, am I right? So is it inversely proportional or not? A is inversely proportional to Q, am I right? From this expression, when increase the concentration of reactants, what happened? The value of Q is less than or not? Q is less than. That means Kc is higher or not? And comparing this one. Okay? Therefore, Q is less than Kc. Q less than Kc. So Q less than Kc means, once see the diagrammatical representation, the reaction starts at A and the reaction ends at B. Now these are the reactants and their concentration supposed to A, and this one is product and its concentration is X. Okay, so this is the equilibrium point where the reaction gets stability Kc. Now Q less than Kc means the point of Q in this line is at this point, am I right? Where Q less than Kc or not? Q less than Kc. Now Q try to get the stability. When it approaches to this equilibrium point, it get stability. That means Q try to approach this point at Kc. That means, is it forward or backward direction? Clearly forward direction. Okay, so clearly it is forward. Clearly forward, am I right? And case 2 we have case 2. If increase the concentration of products. Now what are products? That is HI and its concentration is X small, suppose. Okay. Then Q is greater than Kc. then the reaction is in backward direction or reversible. Backward direction. Okay, is it clear? So once see this expression, what is the relation between Q and X here? Q and X, where Q is directly proportional to X or not? X. Here, increase the value of X, increase the value of Q. So that means value of K is its fixed value. Fixed value, remember. It is a fixed value. Okay. So with respect to Kc, Q value is high here. We already discussed regarding this. So Q is greater than Kc. So once see through diagrammatical representation, A and this one is B. This one is reactants and its concentration is A. This one is product and its concentration is taken as X. Okay. Now this one is equilibrium point. Clearly it is Kc now already. Okay. So where Q is greater than Kc, that means the point it is at Q. So it's the point Q is trying to get stability. That means it moves towards to equilibrium position. That means the direction is backward direction. Which direction? This is forward, this one is backward direction. Clearly it is reversible reaction. Clearly it is reversible. That means the reaction moves towards H2 plus I2 from HI. Okay? Reversible means in this direction, the reaction HI to H2 plus I2. Suppose forward means H2 plus I2 gives rise to 2HI. Okay, ma? Is it clear, all of you? Very good. And what about case 3? So here case 3, in this expression, that means delta n is equals to 0. Case 3 means regarding to volume. Is there any volume term in the above expression? That means there is no volume term in the above expression, that is Kc is equals to 4x square by a minus x whole square. So this expression for H2 plus I2 is reversible 2HI, or suppose H2 plus Cl2 is reversible 2HCl. Here also number of moles 0, net moles. Delta n is equals to 0, delta n is equals to 0 for the both equation, am I right? So there is no volume term. Suppose if we increase the volume or decrease the volume, is there any change? No change in Kc and no change in Q, am I right? Why? Because there is no volume to discuss about Kc and Q, am I right? So now in this reaction, if we add volume or decrease the volume, there is no affect the equilibrium position. There is no change. So neither move forward nor backward. Okay, is it clear? The reaction at equilibrium only, then there is no change at volume. Regarding in this expression, there is no volume term, So if it takes any changes in the volume, it does not affect the equilibrium position. So very clear and very, very important point, In this expression there is no volume term. If you can increase the volume or decreases in this equilibrium, okay, there is no change in the equilibrium position. It is only at equilibrium. There is no change. It does not affect the equilibrium position. Okay, very, very important point. So when delta n is equals to 0, then volume does not affect the position of equilibrium. Position of equilibrium does not affect the position of equilibrium. Remember this. Volume does not affect the position of equilibrium in this case. Okay? Why? Because there is no volume term in this expression, while right H2 plus I2 is reversible to HI, where delta n is equals to 0. Is it clear? In the above two cases, that means delta n is equals to first to delta n is equals to negative. If we increase the volume, so we have get some expression, and we decrease the volume, we have get some expressions. But in this case, there is no effect of volume at equilibrium. That means equilibrium does not disturb the equilibrium position, volume. So that means volume does not disturb the equilibrium position. Okay? So very, very important. Remember this. So now, up to this concept we discussed homogeneous equilibrium and the relation between Kc and Q. Okay? So now, calculation of Kp for homogeneous reaction where temperature not given. Before case, that means in homogeneous equilibrium where we calculate Kp and Q relations, it is in presence of temperature. Suppose temperature is not given, then what happened? Okay, if suppose temperature is given, we have to calculate Kc also. Am I right? So why? Because we have the expression Kp is equals to Kc RT whole power delta n. Okay, if temperature is given, we have Kc. Have Kc expression, okay, and Kp expression also here. If temperature is not given, we have only Kp expression. What is meant by Kp? Kp means equilibrium constant of a reversible reactions at partial pressure of a reactant and products. It is also equilibrium constant, in which case when we consider the partial pressures of the reactants and products, already we discussed. Okay, so if temperature is not given, then how to calculate Kp? Okay, so for example, this is the reversible equation. Pc alpha is reversible, PCl3 plus Cl2. Is it homogeneous or not? Homogeneous equation where the equilibrium constants taken as Kp. So what is the expression of Kp here? Kp is the cost molar concentration or partial pressures. We consider only partial pressures. So here partial pressures of products, the first one is PCl3, where P means partial pressure of PCl3. So what is the coefficient? 1. These are the stoichiometric coefficients or number of moles. Okay, so divides and into partial pressure of Cl2, and divides partial pressure of PCl5. Don't confuse. The round bracket means it represents the partial pressures of the reactants and products. Now first write the partial pressures of products, not plus into, and divides with partial pressure of reactants. Then the equilibrium constant at partial pressure is taken as Kp. Okay, this is the expression. So if we need to calculate Kp, here we need partial pressure of this term, partial pressures of chlorine, partial pressure of PCl5. Okay, in this particular case we follow the Dalton's law of partial pressure. Okay, so in this case we follow which law? Dalton's law of partial pressure. Dalton's law of partial pressure. Suppose it is the container. Now this container consists, suppose two gases. How many gases? Two gases. For the first gas, the partial pressure is taken as P1, and for the second gas, partial pressure is taken as P2. When these two are in a mixer, then the total pressure becomes of the mixer P1 plus P2 is equals to P, where P is total pressure, that is P total pressure equals sum of the individual partial pressures of the gases or not. So let us take two gases. For the first gas, partial pressure, that means the pressure exerted by the gas, is P1, and for the second gas, P2. When these two gases are in a container, then the total pressure is taken as P1 plus P2 is equals to P total. That means sum of their individual pressures becomes to total pressure of the mixer. Am I right? So partial pressure of first gas and partial pressure of P2 becomes total pressure of the mixer, So this is the Dalton's law. So where we have the relation mole fraction it is denoted with chi, we call it is like X. Mole fraction X equals number of moles of one component by total moles of all the components, simply total moles. Okay, this is the formula we already studied in concept of stoichiometry in that mole fraction. Okay, so Dalton's law of partial pressures. Now the relation between partial pressure, the relation between partial pressures and mole fraction and total pressure, P total. Suppose for example partial pressure of the first gas, partial pressure of gas is equals to mole fraction of gas into P total pressure. If you need to calculate partial pressure of the gas, partial pressure of a gas is equals mole fraction of that gas into total pressure of the mixer. Total pressure of the mixer. For suppose I have to calculate partial pressure of P1 in this case. So now P1 is equals and its mole fraction is X1 and total pressure P total. Is it clear? Now what about partial pressure of P2 and its mole fraction supposed to X and total pressure is PT. Is it clear, ma'am? So now where X means number of mole fraction, that means number of moles of one component by total number of moles of all the components. Is it clear? Once again, Dalton's law of partial pressure, what? It gives the relation between mole fraction and partial pressure and total pressure of the mixer. Partial pressure of the gas is equals its mole fraction into total pressure of the mixer. Suppose partial pressure of P1 is equals its mole fraction into total pressure of the mixer. Okay. So now how we get mole fractions of X? So that means mole fraction of X equals number of moles have to calculate first. Then we will easy to get mole fraction. Okay. So number of moles of one component by total number of moles of all the components. So let's see that concept. So when temperature is not given, we consider their partial pressures, then have to calculate Kp. Okay. So now my question is, let number of moles of PCl5 is A moles. How many moles we have? A moles. And temperature T is not given. Okay. So then the equation is PCl5 is reversible Kp and PCl3 plus Cl2. It is a gaseous chemical equilibrium and that too homogeneous equilibrium. So T is not given. In this particular case we consider partial pressures to calculate Kp. So these are the partial pressures, you know. Is it clear? Where temperature is not given. So in this case, suppose T is equals at 0 seconds, T is equals at 0 seconds, number of moles given, number of moles. What are the number of moles given? A moles initial moles. Is there any product at initially? No. So taken as their moles 0. Okay. Now X moles are decreases from A. It is 1 mole of PCl5 gives 1 mole of PCl3 and 1 mole of PCl2. Suppose 1 mole of PCl5 undergoes decomposition, it gives 1 mole of PCl3, 1 mole of Cl2. So X moles are decreases from this A moles, then the remaining moles at equilibrium. So at equilibrium time, equilibrium moles, what we call it is equilibrium moles. X moles are decreases, they converted as products. Then the remaining moles means A minus X moles we have. And how many moles are here? X moles. Why? Because 1 into X. X moles are decreases, that X into 1 X, and here also 1 into X. Okay. Suppose X moles are decreases from here, that converted as the products. Here how many moles we have? 1. So 1 into X, X. Here 1 into X is X. Is it clear? So now these are the number of moles of PCl5 at equilibrium. These are the number of moles of PCl3 and Cl2 at equilibrium. Am I right? Is it clear? Everyone? Here we need partial pressure terms, you know. So now at equilibrium mole fractions, it is represented with chi, we call it is chi, it is denoted like x, okay, mole fractions. Now how to get mole fractions? So now what are the total moles at equilibrium? Total moles at equilibrium, A minus x plus x and x, am I right? So minus x, total moles means sum all these moles at equilibrium, moles of this one, moles of this one, moles of this one at equilibrium only. Now total means sum all these, then so what are the remaining moles? A plus x. Now total moles at equilibrium is taken as A moles, A plus x, am I right? Total moles, A plus x moles. Now but I know number of moles of PCl5 at equilibrium A minus x, number of PCl3 at equilibrium x, number of moles of Cl2 at equilibrium x. Is it clear? Now I would like to calculate mole fractions of each component. Now mole fraction of xi is equals, already we discussed what is mole fraction, number of moles of one component by total number of moles. Now for this one mole fraction we have to calculate how many moles are here for this one component A. Now total moles how much? A minus x at equilibrium, number of moles A minus x and total moles A plus x. And come to this one, at equilibrium how many moles it has? X, and total moles of the mixture A plus x, am I right? And come to here, at equilibrium how many moles it has? X. Now total moles of the mixture A plus x. Is it clear, ma'am? Now finally we got here mole fractions of each components also, okay. Now I would like to name partial pressures of the gases. Partial pressure of the gas is equals, mole fraction of the gas into total pressure P. Total pressure, we have the relation. Now I would like to calculate partial pressure of PCl3, this term. Partial pressure of the gas PCl3 is equals its mole fraction. What is the mole fraction of PCl3? Mole fraction of PCl3 is x by A plus x. Mole fraction of PCl3 is how much here? X by A plus x. X by A plus x, and total pressure is taken as P, suppose, okay, P total. And come to next term, Cl2. Partial pressure of Cl2 equals its mole fraction. So what is the mole fraction of Cl2? X by A plus x, am I right? X by A plus x, and total pressure is P, am I right? Is it clear? Mole fraction means number of moles at equilibrium by total moles at equilibrium. So number of moles at equilibrium x, total moles at equilibrium A plus x. Then we get mole fraction of Cl2. Is it clear? And finally, partial pressure of PCl5 is equals, so what is the mole fraction of PCl5 at equilibrium? A minus x by A plus x. Is it clear? A minus x by A plus x, mole fraction at equilibrium for PCl5. A minus x by A plus x into what is the total pressure? That is P, am I right? So now we get here partial pressure of PCl3, partial pressure of PCl2, partial pressure of PCl5. Now we know these all values, these are the values. Now can I able to calculate Kp or not? Yes. So keep all these values in this expression, then we get Kp is equals Kp equals to how much? What is the value of PPCl3? PPCl3, this is the value. X by A plus X into total pressure. And what about PCl2? X by A plus X into P divides what is the total pressure? PCl partial pressure for PCl5, this one, that is A minus X by A plus X into total pressure. Is it clear? So now P1, P cancel or not? Cancel, and X into X square by into P, where A plus X into A plus X, okay, where it is A plus X into A plus X, this one undergoes reciprocal, then what happened? A plus X by A minus X, this term undergoes reciprocal. So now cancel A plus X and A plus X also, that is Kp. So therefore X square into total pressure by A plus X into A minus X. How much it is? A plus B into A minus B. A square minus B square. Like that here it is A square minus X square. Is it clear, ma, all of you? A plus B into A minus B, what happened? A square minus B square. Like that A plus X into A minus X, it gives A square minus X square. So finally here we get Kp is equals X square into P by A square minus X square. Is it clear for all of you? So therefore the final equation for Kp for the given equilibrium equation when temperature is not given is Kp is equals X square into P by A square minus X square. Is it clear, ma? This is the expression when temperature T is not given. Not given. In the particular case, we consider Kp that with respect to partial pressure. So initial concentration of A is A moles. Then we get these expressions regarding to Dalton's law. We have to calculate partial pressures of the gases. Now what is the expression? Partial pressure of the gas equals its mole fraction into total pressure of the mixer. Finally, with respect to this expression and through these values, we get Kp is equals X square into P by A square minus X square, where A means initial concentration of the reactants, X means what about X? Concentration of the products, and what about P? Total pressure of the mixer, What about Kp? Where Kp is equals partial pressure of equilibrium constant at partial pressures. Is it clear, ma, all of you? So now this is also same for Kp is equals X square into P, A square minus X square is also taken as Q. Partial pressure, okay, remember this. Here we have three cases regarding this formula. In that particular one, case 1 is if, so what is the equation? PCl5 is reversible PCl3 plus Cl2. Is it clear, ma? Equilibrium constant Kp. Is it okay? And now if with respect to pressure, if increases the pressure of reactants, then what happened? From this equation, P is directly proportional to Q or not? P is directly proportional Q. So here Kp is fixed value, remember this. Where Q is variable. Is it clear? Where P is directly proportional to Q. Okay, so here increase the pressure of reactants. Okay, so pressure of the reactants means P and Q is directly proportional to Q. So when pressure is increases, what about Q is increases? Therefore Q is greater than Kc. That means which reaction takes place? Backward reaction takes place. Remember this. In this case, Q greater than Kc. What happened? Backward reaction takes place. In the case 2, what about case 2? If decrease the here just a small correction. If increasing the pressure at equilibrium, right? At equilibrium, not for reactants and products, at equilibrium. So if you decrease the pressure at equilibrium, that means in this reaction, just increase the pressure, decrease the pressure. So then the direction of the equilibrium. So if here pressure is high at equilibrium, that means it is backward reaction. If pressure is decreases, then what happens? Pressure is decreases, then Q is decreases. That means Q is less than Kc. That means which reaction it is? Forward reaction. Is it clear? Okay students, we will discuss on tomorrow. Have a nice day. Okay, after this class, once practice these all derivations. Okay, see you later. Bye.